The revolution will be televised. Wait a minute. I think it's meant to be the other way around. The revolution will not be televised. You tell me. All right, you tell me. Thank you guys. Gordon here with Guardians of Freedom. Appreciate your time. You have given me your life for 10 minutes, and I appreciate that. And actually, the way I talk, it can be 20. I'll try not to talk too much. It's hard. But I am literally taking 10 minutes of your life, so I greatly appreciate that. Let's talk about this statement. The revolution will be televised, or will it not be televised? I believe the real revolution will not be televised, and the revolution that the New World Order orchestrate will be televised. And I'm going to explain what that means. Back in 2020, I was already talking about this, and I said to people, guys, the way they're going to bring in the New World Order, and I think a lot of us can see this, is by creating a revolution that the people call for. Okay? So, the normal people, well, I don't know if I can call them that, I think we're the normal ones who can see through all this. The unaware people who are unaware of a hidden agenda of the New World Order, of the families, the central banksters, etc. Those people in 2020, I said, don't worry, they're going to hit the streets eventually. But when they do hit the streets, that's when we've got to actually be concerned. So when those average unaware people hit the streets, it is because the New World Order central bank puppet masters have decided they want them to hit the streets. Okay, and so they'll create, and back then I was saying they were going to hit the streets when they get affected by affordability with living, when they can't find houses to live in, which was purposely created, when they can't afford to eat, they've lost their jobs, all those things that the New World Order system has purposely created. Economic destruction, smashed the building industry. Okay, they've done it all by purpose. So back in 2020, I was saying they are going to make the normies hit the street. And when they hit the street, they'll ask for a revolution. And they'll provide their revolution to them. Their revolution that will be televised. Alright? So, when we look around the world right now, we can see, for example, in the East, a lot of protests and revolution. Now, I can tell you for sure that I believe the protests in Sri Lanka, for example, I think it was 2022, were orchestrated by something bigger than some youth. Okay, and I stopped the footage that I was watching on the news, and I paused it and I had a good look, and I saw Student Socialist Union badge. Okay, I made a video about that at the time. So for me, that revolution was televised and orchestrated. The upheaval we've seen since then in Bangladesh was another similar situation where government people were kicked out of their offices effectively and replaced. And I believe we saw socialist and communist parties coming in their replacement. Now, in Nepal at the moment, we've just seen that, and I think a lot of people are sharing that. I'm not an expert in Nepalese politics, so I haven't really got too deep into it, but that revolution was televised, and there's something about it that doesn't sit right with me. Okay, we've got the youth that have just basically gone berserk over in Nepal. It could well be that there's something to it. I'm not too sure. The government was trying to ban social media full stop, which was interesting. And the previous government was communist in Nepal, so they got rid of them. One of the first things they did was break out a politician from jail, okay, put him in place. All I'm trying to highlight to people is to be very perceptive of the tricks that they play and they manipulate. The French Revolution that most people celebrate was actually a Rothschild-initiated revolution, completely funded, completely supported and pushed and backed by the Rothschild family for the purpose of what they started building, which was effectively a false democracy and to get people to pursue endless liberty. Okay, and I'll explain more about that in the series. I'm going to talk about social conditioning and how they manipulate our normal human behaviors. That was 100% a Rothschild revolution, and they got rid of natural leadership and put in their little puppets, their politicians, with the bi-party system, and they created left and right-wing politics, which stemmed from the French Revolution and then spread to every other parliamentary system around the world. That was another fake revolution. So when they transition the world across to the new system they want to bring in, they're going to make it such that they want people to ask for it. So they create the problems, and like I said, when the normies hit the streets, we got to be concerned, because if we're not actively going out there and actually talking to them and guiding them, it's nothing to celebrate, okay, because they're still not aware, and they are simply hungry and whatever else, and so they're going to go out and yell, and the revolution will be televised, and they will provide their solution. Now, I watch the news regularly, and I watch it not because I enjoy it, or because I believe it, and I believe if you're strong enough, you can go through the pain of watching the news. It's not emotionally pleasant, I can tell you that, but I think it's part of what I feel is what I need to do to stay on top of things. And one of the things I look for is the tone that they use when they talk about certain topics that you can't pick up from a written resource. It's the newsreader's emotion and tone. And I also look for these preemptive programming, so they'll always use keywords before they want people to take up a type of programming. So one of the things I'm hearing is people are not happy with the current political system in Australia. People are no longer happy with the mainstream parties, okay, and they're really getting this out there. People aren't happy with the political system. So they, I believe, will completely destroy the bi-party system, and I believe they're going to bring in a council type system, which is what I would like to see actually, and what most people in the movement would probably like to see, but they're going to do it their way, which is a corrupted council system of puppets that they'll put in place, instead of one in which we have a fair draw from the population. I can see them slowly moving towards that with the little messaging they're doing. The United Nations will be taken out, okay, and then I'm going to see people in the movement clapping when that happens. No, that's their plan. Okay, they will bring in the next one, which would be the one world government. Okay, the World Economic Forum will be taken out as well at some point, and they're going to rebuild everything, rebuild better. Okay, so unless we are in control of that revolution and change, don't trust it. That's what I'm trying to get at here. And when the normies take to the streets as a mob, we're not really in control of where things are going and what's going to happen from there. So it's really important for us to see through those traps that they set. I've mentioned Sri Lanka, Nepal. I have my doubts on what's going on in Nepal. Now also, when you look at this, the mass immigration protests, they're happening worldwide. And these are the normies out there. Okay, they triggered them, so they'll trigger the normies to get out when they want them to get out, and then they bring in the solution. Okay, at some point in time, they're going to scrap everything and make it look like the people have asked for it, and the revolution has begun, the people's revolution. All right, that's what they'll call it. but it won't really be the people's revolution. So, in this movement, I'm going to say this, we have gone to the point where you really don't know who to trust out there anymore. I can say that because I've watched over the years people slowly saying things and getting compromised, and then they seem to change a fair bit. So guys, the revolution will be televised and they want it to be. The real revolution will not be televised. Alright, sorry to come at you guys with some more not so happy information, but I'm a realist and that's reality, so I got to put it out there. And we're going to see it in Australia, I'm sure of it. I'm seeing certain groups suddenly pop up out of nowhere, getting popped up, and from that chaos they will create a revolution, take out the bi-party system, create a council system. Ultimately, we're going to have the one world government, and our council here will operate with a council on a world stage. That's how I see that they're going to set things up when it's all said and done. So just be vigilant on what's really going on. Don't join the hive mind. Yeah, the hive mind I see in this movement, it's a little bit sad because we're supposed to be truthers, and what I see is somebody will just post something and everybody will just believe it and everybody will just share it. Think, do your research. What's really going on in the poll? Do we know? Okay. I don't think we know. Why are all of the Western nations having this mass immigration protests? All. Okay. I believe it's by design, and I believe the normies have been triggered, and they're going to trigger them more and get them to ask for their revolution. So stay well, guys. Thanks for giving me your life for 12 minutes and 17. I'll catch up with you soon.